Very nice. There was always one missing, right?
Where's the other?
What?
Revenge! Here she comes! Here she comes!
It is Sahelanthropus. Man, I don't... It's giving it to Eli? Huh. Is that... Are we gonna fast forward the credits? Piers Stubbs. Jay Tabar, James Horan, Dave Fouquet. He didn't even say anything. Tradij Rebno. Paz. Soldiers Extras. I guess you need like a lot of different languages and stuff. Sarabaj, yeah. I'm just really floored by this, I guess. There's a lot of strange stuff. Oh yeah, I guess she was in like a tape maybe. I don't remember Zero's voice though. There's a lot to unpack here about like eliminating English as just sort of a way to eliminate America. Everybody who spoke English would end up dying. That's like a crazy idea. The talk about propagating genes propagating language and about how it changes a person and all that. It's really kind of explored actually throughout all of his games. And then in Metal Gear Solid 1, which you'll eventually see soon, it's through genes, and Metal Gear Solid 2 is through memes and just sort of this, ideas, propagation of ideas and how it affects you. Which is crazy because it was like 2001 or so, like way before the internet is what it is now. Before even memes were what they are now. And there have been a lot of other science fiction works that sort of deal with language as, take Snow Crash. Language is like a programming language for the brain kind of thing. And you have like a weird language virus kind of thing. Fascinating. Robbing people of their identity through language. In a way, you rob people of their heritage and stuff. And there's resentment, and there are different choices people make. Like, for example, my parents chose that English was going to be the dominant language in my family because they wanted us to assimilate with America. And in a way, that kind of robbed me of growing up the same way that they did, because they grew up speaking Spanish in Cuba. So, even though I learned Spanish kind of simultaneously as a kid, not really simultaneously, because, like, for example, my younger brother's not fluent in it, and I had to pick up a lot of it at school. But, like, think about that. Like, I have there's some part of all three of, my older brother, my younger brother, and I, my immediately younger brother and I, that grew up with Spanish and English in the house, because there was Spanish from our grandparents, and then there was also, our parents would say things, the occasional thing to us in Spanish, but for the most part, they didn't talk to us in Spanish. And that affected who we are, how we think, our ability to even learn the language. Like, all three of us have an accent, and the accents are varying in intensity. Like, my younger brother has a very strong accent. I have less of one, and I feel like my older brother has even less, although I don't really listen to him speak Spanish that much. And like that changes our ability to assimilate, to blend in, to sound like a native speaker, to think like a native speaker. I think that my ability to understand other languages and to manipulate my vocal cords has a little bit to do with knowing more than one language, but not enough. I don't know. There is a degree of foreignness to Spanish, but I can also think in Spanish, which not everybody can do if they don't have the, when they come to language late in life. I'm just rambling talking about language. But yeah, I don't know. I find that like I understand people who speak Spanish when they speak English, probably from exposure from like Miami, which is full of people who speak Spanish. And I really like that about Miami. I like that there's a lot of different languages spoken there. Well, Spanish and English, but I like that it's almost not the official language, because you're not really allowed to do that, and that kind of thing doesn't really fly in America. But it's like an unofficial language. There are parts of Miami where there's no English anywhere. And while there are places like that in New York too, like for example Chinatown is very, very Chinese, it just feels different because New York, while you have all these neighborhoods where you don't have to assimilate, you don't get away from assimilating the same way that I feel like you can in Miami. Or maybe I'm full of shit. I don't know. I'd like to do that. Live in another country. At some point in my life, I feel like that would be an interesting challenge. It would be easier, of course, to do it in a Latin American country, or even an English-speaking country. Even though, like living in England, it would be different, but it wouldn't be that different. So this game, I know there's more to it. I know there's chapter 2, and that's sort of where the true ending is. And I know that a lot of people feel like this game shit the bed, and that the story was really bad. I will say that so far in chapter 1, I think it's been just fine. There's plenty of dangling threads, and it's possible. Ooh, 8-4. They work with Giant Bomb. And Mark McDonald, I think, has been involved with Metal Gear for a long time. I hear that some of the stuff never really gets resolved and all that, but that's fine. I'm not necessarily bothered by that. We'll see how chapter 2 goes. It's good that I'm at least done with chapter 1. There's a lot of Game of the Year talk going on now. And while I don't have all the details, having some of them is useful. Let's see, stuff that I still need to know more about. Kaz. They said that Chico's dead, so I don't really have to think about that. I'd like to know a little bit more about the Man on Fire and about, what's his face, the floating boy. Even though I have an idea, I have a pretty strong idea of who the floating boy is, because he's referencing another character that's kind of important in Metal Gear. Man of Fire, though, I don't know much about. Lord of the Flies. The Man Who Sold the World. Sins of the Father's pretty good. Quiet Theme. Science! Sorry. Science! I forgot which Gloria that is. It was good. Oh, yeah. Gloria, Gloria, ba ba da ba da 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 da. I'd like to see what happens with Miller. Ocelot is kind of just there. He was not really. I don't know that I needed that we needed him there. I have ideas about Eli that are important or that are related to the rest of the Metal Gear saga. I don't think that they ever come out right and say it, though, as from what I understand, just in talking with people about this game. Okay. End of the credits. Let's see what we got. Oh man, yeah, a lot. I have a feeling I'm gonna want to listen to most of that. Nuke, Raven Sword, Diamond, Dog, Butterfly. Nuclear weapons cannot be developed or disposed of. View the resources menu for details. Nuclear weapons disposal trial is not available. View trial records in the pause menu for details. Legendary soldiers. Gray Chameleon. It's cute. Chameleon. Speaks English. Surgeon. It's all women. Biting Tree Frog. S+. Blazing Mastodon. Frantic Squirrel. Mongoose. Flaming Buffalo. That's a good one. And then this guy who's like a random sea guy. Coming in chapter 2.
Scatter your sorrow to the heartless sea. I won't see you in his ashes. You're all diamonds.
This man
What is going on?
acted as accomplice to the attack on Mother Base. Why are you here? Revenge against the boss. I'm not like you.
I think it is.
There's a lot more going on.
I'll go alone. Boss, what are you?
We can't afford to lose anyone else.
What if she's a spy?
What if I'm a spy? Or you?
Kill her. What should we do, boss? Just give the order.
You're right. He is not one of us.
Boss.
Snake?
There's a lot of stuff coming. Jeez. I thought that I was close to feeling resolved about this story. I guess the chapter 1 stuff, race. The chapter 1 stuff mostly makes a lot of sense.
Attention!
What the hell is even going to happen in chapter 2?
Diamond Dogs. Even with Skullface dead, our brothers are unavenged. And the phantom pain he brought us lives on. Cypher is still out there.
Oh yeah,
We
we
know
gotta
they
take the fight to
planted
Cypher.
spies, parasites among us. Watch the man to your left, to your right. Assume nothing. Report everything.
This is very 1984.
It's the only way to protect ourselves. From here on out,
No more glasses for him.
you will be my eyes.
He's not blind, is
Deadliest
he?
enemies right here in our midst. And they will get no mercy.
It's such a goofy ass flag for the cutscene. Alright, let's listen to some tapes.
Even with Skullface dead, our pain is still right with us. We need...
Oh, great.
We need more strength. We need more men. Diamond Dogs needs to be bigger. Missions have come in too. We still have a long road ahead of us.
This one must be all about, like, control and being watched. Okay, we got a lot of stuff going on here.
Please select a mission.
To know too much. Extract the CIA mole. Solo infiltration. All weapons are in OSP. Chicken Hat reflex. Supply drops. Buddy deployment and support helicopter attacks and support strikes unavailable. So that's I have to do that mission, but I have to get all my weapons on my own. An extreme. Chicken Hat reflex unavailable. Eliminate as many fighting vehicles as possible. Missile. I've done this. Interesting.
Please select a mission.
Let's see what I got rewards wise. Far mission or far waters exploitation stuff. I guess all my guys sort of came in. Alright,
You will
Death
set
Buffalo.
Shortly.
I like just kind of bumping them. Okay, let's talk about combat deployments, because we have a couple mission
Please
ones.
select a mission.
Defend the pipeline. Sabotage attacks. Backed by Cypher.
Unit dispatched.
Highest probability is going. Headhunting, exploitation. Gas masks, I hate. Because I rely on
Dispatched.
gas. Surveillance cameras, decoys, directional mines, shotguns, machine guns, shields, riot suits, flashlights. I don't like riot suits either.
Unit dispatched.
Guess that's everybody. Base facilities. Let's see if I have anything before I start looking at things that I can do. I can upgrade my command platform and my medical platform. And a bunch of stuff over there. I'm going to do this one first.
Commencing platform construction.
Oh, I can do this too.
Commencing platform
That too.
construction.
The other thing is almost done. Let's look what's going on in the database. I don't think it's anything in here. Medicinal plants. No, it's code names. Butterfly. Quiet to achieve great victories. What do we have
Please
here?
specify a project.
Boss, thank you for putting an end to the epidemic.
Yeah, no problem,
Please
boss.
specify a project.
See, it sounds like boss, but it's not. I should probably start doing some shorty. No, why not? No, I don't have that much money right now. Killer bees, active decoys, decoys. C4 I actually use. Stun arm, sneaking suit stuff. Consecutive CQZ challenge tasks. I should have been doing the other stuff. All right, use tape 75%. Hit the floating boy. Rank A of above. S of 20%. Rank S. 10 dispatch missions. Let's get this going. Sins of the Father. Whoa. Alright, looks like let's start a Sahelanthropus.
Emmerich didn't go with depleted uranium for Sahelanthropus' armor because of its strength. He had nukes in mind. Exactly.
Destroyed the head.
To use its body as the fuel component for a nuclear weapon. Sahelanthropus uses built-in uranium enrichment archaea to melt its own body and extract uranium-235 from the depleted uranium in its armor. Those archaea perform the enrichment in an extremely short time. The concentration jumps by a factor of several hundred, from 0.2% to over 90%. The end result being highly enriched weapons-grade uranium. Sahelanthropus' body itself becomes a nuclear bomb. Emmerich says if it were to self-destruct,
that's fascinating.
The nuclear yield would be somewhere in the region of 15 kilotons. Since you need about 50 kilograms of highly enriched uranium to trigger a nuclear reaction, that Sahelanthropus contains something like 23 tons of depleted uranium. That's not very much. No, it isn't. That's about what you'd expect to find in a main battle tank's armor. The point is, it can be transported anywhere, even use its conventional weaponry on the battlefield, and the international community will never suspect a thing.
Huh. Fascinating. Alright, I'm going to get into the ACC so I can do other customizations. And then we're going to keep listening to the tapes. Ooh, hell of a shot. Out of the way! Oh, I should have gone to R&D to check out what's his face has been working on. Next time I'm back. This is my Woo pistol. Oh, because my loadout doesn't have all the Doesn't have all the customized weapons.
Mission list
Boss.
updated.
You can now give the order to develop or dispose of nuclear weapons from your iDroid. With a nuclear deterrent, even if you're discovered while infiltrating a rival PF's FOB, most PFs won't dare retaliate. But you, of all
How?
people, know how dangerous it can be to have nuclear weapons. So will you
Yeah, I
add
don't
nukes
want
to
it.
our arsenal as a deterrent? Or will you take them away from other PFs and dispose of them to help build a world that's free of nuclear weapons? I'll leave that
That's what I'm
decision
gonna
up to
do.
you.
Yeah, I don't have any event points. It's training. I don't want to do any of this stuff right now. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Relationships. Alright, let's get some more tapes going.
I just received word from the R&D team and the transport team out of Afghanistan. They finished installing Sahelanthropus on the base. It's ours now.
All right. Don't let any of the staff touch that thing. Especially Emmerich.
Of course.
Yeah, seriously.
That guy's crush on Sahelanthropus is beyond a joke. Guess he really wants to see his tech stand on its own two legs this time.
That's not gonna happen.
I know it. So you've got no plans to make it operational again?
Damn right.
No.
Boss, I want to hear it straight from you.
Hear what?
What the hell do you want with that thing? The drive is busted. It's not like it has a nuke on board. Even if the metallic archaea could turn it into a nuclear weapon, all it can do is self-destruct. Sahelanthropus just isn't a weapon anymore. It'll draw unwanted attention without even being a deterrent.
I know.
The weapons development strut sank 2 feet under that thing's wake. That's 1 year's drop
Whoa.
in a single night. We've started on reinforcing the strut, but there's no guarantee it'll hold up if a storm hits.
I know that.
That's interesting.
Too.
Boss, why keep it?
It's a mark. Us Diamond Dogs, we don't have a country to call home. That means we have no past, nothing to prove that we lived. Every one of us threw it all away when we came here. Sahelanthropus
That's an
is a
interesting
symbol to show that the likes
thi-
of us
thought.
brought at least one crisis to its end.
A mark in history. So we can't just fade away.
It's of no practical use to us.
Hmm.
But we still need it.
A symbol of what we've done. I'm glad I sounded you out on this. Snake, on behalf of all of us, I want to thank you.
I don't need gratitude. I need security. Keep Emmerich away from that thing.
Roger that.
Yeah, seriously. I don't trust him at all. I don't want that. Alright, so that there's no real changes to. What can I even do this thing? Nothing. Nothing. Don't even want that. Sure. Pink shotgun. I don't really use submachine guns. Can't really do anything with this. Just different rifle stocks. I already have most of that stuff set up. Let's see what I can do with the Grom. I can give it a flashlight. Who cares? It has a laser module already. Can't change the color. Silly. One more thing I want to try and customize this thing. Can't change it. Okay. Let us deploy for that wandering mother base guy, and we'll listen to another one.
Please select a heading to Central Africa.
Yes. But we're taking D-Dog. And we're going to switch clothes to... Where is it? Is it just the wet work one? Fatigues, there we go. I don't really want to be naked. Alright.
Deploying.
Let's do this. After I get this guy, that's gonna have to be it, because I got a pack going down to Baltimore for New Year's Eve. Angola, Zaire. Alright, we got more tapes to listen to.
The map has been updated.
Metallic Archaea.
He said that the nuke Skullface was trying to spread around the world were equipped with a failsafe. Something that could shut them down at will. His will.
Quite so. After all, he needed a guarantee that a buyer wouldn't simply turn the weapons back on him.
So how can they be stopped?
Yeah, that would be bad.
Criticality trigger. That is, the detonator is a complete black box design. Any attempt to dismantle it causes it to melt in seconds, using the corroding archaea. The design ensures that no detonation is possible unless he disengages the lock.
So he had a way to disengage it remotely.
Precisely. The client
Yeah, because he was trying to have control over all that.
At that moment, the detonator begins transmission with a surveillance satellite. The satellite
Interesting.
reports to him how the client is trying to use the nuke. If he does not object, the lock is disengaged.
But if it's a risk to him
Interesting.
in any way,
The detonator melts down. The same is true if detonation does not occur within a preset time after the lock is disengaged. The nuke is rendered useless.
who the hell would buy
That's
something with
fascinating.
strings attached like that?
The client would never know until the moment they actually try to use it.
That's the target.
He will have
I remember him. He was off base during the attack 9 years ago.
time to
Bring him
Really?
home, boss.
He only intended to sell to technologically primitive groups in the most likely. Until the moment they actually try
Alright.
to use it. Most likely, he would have explained the time delay as the detonators needing time to activate. And he only
Interesting.
intended to sell to technologically primitive groups in the first place.
Let me guess. He'd claim it was defective and offer a replacement. Shadier than a used car salesman.
Skullface shakes your
Interesting.
hand like a friend, using the other to control you like a puppet. This is how he works.
How did he control me with his voice? That's what I want to know.
Code Talker. Haven't seen you eat a single thing since you got here. Let me guess. Photosynthesis.
Oh? What makes you say that?
Oh, a long time ago, I knew someone with a similar ability.
Well, you are correct. Most of
The
my
end.
body is covered
That's who he's
with
talking about.
parasites. I supply them with water, and in return, I receive sugars they produce when exposed to light.
Uh-huh.
It isn't just my skin either. The parasites also act as my eyes. They have replaced many
Fascinating.
of my internal organs as well. It is thanks to them that I live on after over a century.
How did you
Over a
obtain them
century.
anyway? Through your research?
I would like to say as much, but there is more to it than that. Let me take you back 20 years. I had hit a dead end with my parasite research. Then I was approached by a foundation. They said they had a sample of an unusual strain of parasite.
Which foundation?
Okay.
Apparently, they had links to ARPA. But that is all I learned. I was somewhat ignorant of the ways of the world. Just being able to study it was enough for me.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Go on.
Half in doubt, I visited them to discover the body of an old man. Well, to be precise, his partial remains.
That's
A
the end.
collection of parts, you could say. The man had died in an explosion.
An old man, you say?
His flesh had not decomposed. In fact, the tissue's cells were still metabolizing. The parasite had infected, or should I say assimilated with, the tissues, and was keeping them alive. I became obsessed with studying the body parts, foregoing food and even sleep. Every day was filled with new discoveries. The parasite's biology, internal anatomy, life cycle. But there was only so much I could learn through observation. And so I made a decision. To truly know the parasites, I had to live with them.
So, you implanted them inside you from the dead man's flesh?
Correct. It was quite a gamble,
Huh.
whether or not they would adapt to me. But fortunately, it appears I was compatible with them. Or perhaps, through my many years of research, my immune system learned to tolerate them.
Were they that body's only
Got 'em.
parasite?
Yes. However, there was a separate specimen that supplied its host with adrenaline in response to pain. And yet another that could control insects at will through secreting heterogeneous
What?
pheromones. I wanted exposure to them, to take them into me.
So the Cobra
My
unit was all from
wishes were
parasites?
denied. Their records, though, provided clues that helped advance my research. Would you care to join me? A life spent never worrying about food is a most wonderful one.
I think I'll pass.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
Seriously, that's weird.
This has been helpful.
Fascinating. Got him.
He's coming too.
Side
Roger
option
that.
updated. Extraction
Why did it
arrived
just-
at Mother Base.
That's weird.
Boss, come on back to base.
I wonder if this is related to Chapter 2 stuff that we saw. A lot of people showing up. Eli again. What the hell is that about?
There's been an accident in the boys' quarters. A pile of steel pipes gave way and crushed one of the kids. A boy named Ralph.
Weird.
They tell me he died instantly. I'm sorry, boss. It's my fault. I should have been keeping an eye on them.
Thank you for bringing it
I'll let you know if we learn something.
Huh.
It's starting to get a little crowded around here, boss. Boss!
That's interesting. Gallo Pinto. Alright, let's get myself to that platform. And then I gotta check on Huey, I think.
Please select a delivery point.
Wonder what's going on with Eli. And I assume that he probably killed that kid, Ralph. Pretty shitty though. Alright, keep climbing. Do this and then I'll listen to some tapes because I don't want to stay up forever.
Oh, Snake. What is it, Snake?
Gallo Pinto.
Gallo Pinto. Amanda and I taught Cecile how to make it. She picked it up so fast.
Hang on, I'm getting a call.
I was
Okay,
really
let's try and finish
surprised.
this really quick.
I guess Parisians have cooking in the blood. Are Cecile and
Patience.
Amanda doing okay? I wonder why they haven't visited. I'm sorry, Snake.
Oh,
My
my head
head
hurts.
Could you
She
let
does the
me
same thing
rest?
as me. Oh, my head. So weird. Cool. All right. Thanks for watching. Dan plays Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. On Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, we'll listen to more tapes, do more everything soon. We did it though. We beat the first chapter. See you next time.